We're back!
Welcome to the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast with your host, Ed Burkeen.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever and wherever you may be listening to us, you have your ears locked into the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast. My name is Ed Burkeen. I am your host for these festivities. And joining me, as always, he is the muscle of the podcast, future MMA champion and voice of all of Southeast Asia. He is the one, the only, the Jaime.
What's up, wrestling fans? Let's get things started.
And also joining me, he is my arch nemesis, my tag team partner, and my very best friend. You can hear him from all around the internet, including right here on Twitch TV, but you can only find his wrestling stuff right here. He is the real Danny D, Danny Bananas.
Hey, what's up, guys? I have some big news I cannot wait to share with you guys at the end of the show. But for now, let's jump into this wrestling mumbo-jumbo.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a tease. So be sure to listen to the entire episode. Dan will give you all that information later on. All right, gentlemen, we had a big week in wrestling. Raw, Smackdown. We're going to bring back an old friend. And I don't know if you guys know this, but apparently there was some big show that happened in Chicago. We're going to cover all of that and more right here, right now. And let's start where we always do, and that's on Monday Night Raw. This obviously set the stage for the Superstar Showdown. Daniel, we're going to start with you. What match are you most excited for?
It's got to be the Shield versus, oh my god, why am I blanking on their names?
Braun, Dolph, and Drew?
Yes. I'm just super excited to see what, you guys know I'm a big Shield mark. So, the fact that they're back together, it doesn't matter who they go up against, that is by far going to be my favorite match anytime it's a tag match and it's the three of them.
Fair enough. Jaime, same question. What are you excited for in Australia?
You know I'm a 205 Live guy, so I'm going with Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy. Match quality-wise, that promises to be a good one. Especially, we already have a sneak preview as the two have already faced each other at 205 Live.
And you know, I love saying this because you both are wrong. And let me tell you why. The match that everybody should be excited for is The Undertaker versus Triple H one last time. These guys are legends. And I don't know about you, but the segment we're going to talk about next brought me back to my childhood and made me so happy and reminded me why I'm a wrestling fan. And that segment is obviously when Shawn Michaels came out, and then we heard the familiar bell of The Undertaker. Now here lately when we've seen The Undertaker, he's done a few things, hasn't really talked, and that's been it. He actually cut a promo, and it was a good promo. We saw the old Undertaker, not the Undertaker with the crew cut, not the American Badass Undertaker, but the Undertaker circa 2000. And it was glorious. That's what I'm most excited for. But let's go back to the Shield and Braun and Dolph and Drew. Jaime, how long until one or both of these teams hold the tag team titles on Raw?
Well, since Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre have them already, it's not gonna take long. Like, let's say the next pay-per-view, the Shield are gonna take it away from DZ and DM, and the two will turn on each other. And Braun has his own business. He has his own personal agenda. So that's it.
Fair enough. Daniel, how long until the Shield get their titles?
Hell in a Cell.
Okay. Apparently Dan is doing laundry in the background, as we can clearly hear a dryer, but that's beside the point. All right.
That's my dog pacing.
Ah, must be a big dog. Will HBK be the special referee for the one last time match?
I hope. I would love to see that, but then it's almost is he going to be? Is he going to be like, Is he going to be done, or is he going to come back and face the Taker?
I mean, haven't we already seen this before, Jaime? Wasn't this a WrestleMania match between these three?
Yeah.
Short, sweet, to the point. Fair enough. All right, Jaime, I'm going to argue this one with you. Constable Corbin, the authority figure on Raw. He's a jackass, right? Like, there's no reason for him to be in that position.
No, he isn't. He's just that heel authority figure. Like, we had a babyface authority figure for quite some time now, so time to shift back to that heel authority figure. And Corbin's doing a good job as that.
Okay, but if he's the authority figure, does he still need to wrestle? Like, this whole thing with him and Finn Balor is kind of terrible, is it not?
They just have nothing for him at the moment, wrestling-wise. It's more like they're trying to emphasize his power tripping.
Fair enough. Okay, let's move on. And we're going to move on, and we're going to move 24 hours later. Now, Jaime, this is something you and I have talked about ad nauseum here lately, and that's AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Does this remind you of anything in the past, or is this something brand new and fresh to you?
It kind of reminds me about something about the past.
Please elaborate.
Steve Austin, Brian Pillman.
Okay, I can see it. Would you like to continue, or is this one of the patented Jaime things and he's done?
I'll let you elaborate on that. You remember it better than I do.
Well, basically, for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, and I assume that's none of you since you have to be a huge wrestling fan to even find us, Brian Pillman was unhinged. Stone Cold Steve Austin attacked him, went to his house, pulled a gun, almost got Raw kicked off the USA. An official apology had to be issued. This may not be on that same point, but it's really, really close. Apparently, Dan has gone to the bathroom, so we'll...
I'm right here.
Oh, well, we didn't see you.
I've been here the whole time, brother.
All right, well, you tell us. AJ Joe, what are your thoughts?
This is something that the WWE has ruined. This could have been something really good if they would have let it go on organic. I don't feel like this is organic. The whole daddy situation with that, I don't feel like that's something like Joe would actually say. Like, that doesn't remind me of TNA Joe. That doesn't remind me of NXT Joe. It reminds me of terrible Raw writing Joe.
But it's on SmackDown.
Apparently the writers switched.
So you're not a fan of this at all?
No, I mean, I'm a fan of what it could be in the ring, kind of the same way I was a fan of what it could be in the ring with Joe and Naka, but that turned out to be a disappointment.
You mean AJ, right?
Yes, I'm sorry, AJ and Naka.
Fair enough.
And I feel like this could easily turn out the same way.
No, I don't believe so. This is the greatest thing they've had on SmackDown since the Fashion Finals. Like, this has made me want to watch SmackDown, and I don't want to watch SmackDown hardly ever. Speaking of... Go ahead.
I'd rather watch SmackDown for the Becky-Charlotte feud right now.
In a minute. Don't rush me. Let's talk about the tag team situation. Triple threat to decide who's going to be in a triple threat. Then the same thing happened. So now we got the New Day versus the Bar versus Rusev and Aiden English, correct?
That's correct.
Dan, I want to hear it from you. Give me your best Rusev Day.
I can't. I'm too raspy right now.
There's a word for you, and we're not going to call you that.
Rusev Day.
Yeah, we're never doing that again. Are you excited for this, Jaime? Are you excited for these tag team triple threats?
They just have nothing to do, so yes, I'm digging that because the New Day's just going to be a transitional champion for whoever wins this tournament, this series of triple threats.
But they are 5-time tag team champions. 5-time.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Five.
They're already 5-time champs, and They already have the longest reigning title reign, so I'm really tired of seeing the belts on the New Day.
Are you sure you're just not really tired of seeing the New Day? Because I am.
Not really, because they come up with something hilarious every now and then. But as champions, I feel like they're already done as champions.
So who
I
you?
disagree.
Go ahead.
I think the New Day, I think they're going to be that team to break the record. And I feel like they're going to break it by being a transition tag team champion, which is something that we need. We need transition champions. And the New Day constantly being over, like you said, they come up with funny stuff. Giving them the belts for a month, maybe 2 months, maybe you even give it to them for a 6-month period at one point in time when you're trying to build up a new tag team. It's not a bad idea. And if Rusev Day does not win this match, I'm going to be highly upset.
So that's your pick then.
Yes.
Jaime, same to you.
Yeah, Rusev Day.
Well, there's the kiss of death, guys, because we're all three picking the same ones.
Now,
All
are
right.
you guys picking it because that's who you think's going to win, or are you picking it with your heart?
No, that's who should win. That's
Who do you think's going to win?
it'll be Rusev Day. They have to. I mean, if traditional booking is traditional booking, that's the way it goes. Like that's the way it has to be.
I hope, man. I hope that is the way they go.
All right, we're gonna wrap up SmackDown, and we're gonna talk about perhaps the greatest thing on SmackDown, and that is the Charlotte and Becky feud. Now we saw them do the side-by-side promo. It seemed a little stilted at first, and then they did a really good job making it personal. Dan, excited? Yes or no?
Absolutely, man. Becky as a heel just has me excited. She needed this. She needed to be refreshed. This is a great way to refresh her. I think this is also a good way to make sure that Charlotte can look strong and lose, or Charlotte can look strong and win. This isn't a way that the belt's going to be diminished the way it was with, as much as I love Carmella and what she can do on the mic, and her performance skills in the ring have astronomically grown. It's something that can rebuild that championship back up.
Okay, Jaime, do you agree?
Yeah, definitely, I agree. But I could also add that this is a feud that works even without the belt. So, let's say Charlotte retains or Becky wins the belt. Somebody's just going to lose the belt, and then they two can find a way to feud with each other again. That's just how personal it is right now.
But Jaime, there's a flaw in that, man. How does this feud become born if Charlotte doesn't put herself in that match and make it to where, make it to give Becky that chance to turn, right? I mean, I don't think this couldn't have happened organically.
No.
There had to be that turn.
You're missing what Jaime's saying, though. He's not saying the feud could have started without the belt. He's saying the belt isn't needed to continue the feud. What's to say it's September now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What's to say this can't go on until January, March, maybe April, where Charlotte's in WrestleMania, or maybe even Becky, who's the new champion, and whoever the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble is, beats them to at WrestleMania because the other one cost them the match. And now we have a year-long feud, something we have barely seen in today's WWE. I mean, I'd want to watch these two in a year. It could turn.
No, I mean, I agree with. Okay, so I agree with that 100%. I think that's a great idea if that's what Jaime was getting at. I am not going to apologize.
Apologize for what? You just stopped mid-sentence. It's terrible
Telling
radio,
Jaime he was
Dan.
wrong.
Well, Jaime's always wrong, and so are you. That's why I have a catchphrase about how wrong you guys are. All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to go with something that we've done most of every show since we started. Daniel, give me your hot girl of the show.
Whew. So I was rewatching the show earlier, and this chick has had an amazing week.
Whoa. No. You can't pick her. Because that's the exact question I'm asking later in the show. Pick somebody else.
What do you mean?
Pick somebody else.
This is my segment.
Pick somebody else.
I literally actually thought about this segment today, and I wasn't going to go off the top of my head. Now you're making me go off the top of my head.
Just pick the same two you did last week so I can tell the joke.
Okay, the Iconics.
All right. So let me tell you what happened. Me and my girlfriend are watching SmackDown. We had just eaten dinner. I'm bitching to her about something, and the Iconics come on TV, and I said, wow, Dan is in love with them. He really wants to be the meat in that sandwich. Well, Anna, under her breath, says, yeah, I think I would too. And that just sparked my mind in a whole different direction that made me happy in so many ways.
I absolutely love Anna right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. So.
You were not expecting that to be her response.
Oh, no, but I'm telling you, the thoughts in my head. We're trying to keep this a PG-13 rated show, and those were not.
Yeah, let's not go against Twitch TOS right now, please.
Yes, let's not. All right. I said it.
Okay, so you know. So when we get to that later segment, I'm going to also talk about her being really hot.
Yeah, I know. I told you we're gonna bring back an old friend. Now, when we all first got together, when we first started episode number 2, when Dan, Jaime, and I first formed the trio, I can't even think of an alliteration to fit to it, but we all covered Impact Wrestling back in the days of Real Sport and that. I was doing the recaps, Dan was doing the power rankings, and Jaime was doing everything else. So, for the first time in a year, roundabout, we're going to catch you up on Impact. And they just had a big show called Redefined. It was a TV special, would have been a pay-per-view, but Impact, as always, is having financial issues. Did either of you guys get a chance to watch it?
I actually watched that live without even knowing we were doing this. I actually watched that live last Thursday.
Jaime, did you get a chance to take a peek at that 20,000 miles away?
No, I wasn't able to.
Okay, so you're done. I'll talk to you when I can. Daniel, did that seem like the Impact of old? It did,
Yeah,
right?
it was I thought it was a really good show.
No, it's not what I'm not talking about really old Impact. I'm talking the Impact of old when me and you first started.
No, absolutely not.
It's gotten better, right?
Oh my God. Leaps and bounds above what we're used to.
I mean, okay, so Austin Aries, still the Impact champion. Jaime, you can answer this. You're the 205 Live guy. Was he misused?
It's not a matter of was he misused, because yes, up front I'll say yes, but there might be a reason, probably because Austin was kind of a prick backstage, something like that. Some people could attest to that.
Jaime with the hot take, calling a major superstar a name. All right. How about Matt Sydal? He's a big star over in Impact right now. Was he misused, Jaime?
Yes. I'll just say yes, because there wasn't any 205 Live back then. But if there is, Matt Sydal would be a star as well.
And he's from St. Louis, my hometown. How about Rich Swann? We know why he left the WWE. Was unfounded, but was he misused?
He wasn't. He actually received tons of pushes. He was put in good storylines. He even held the Cruiserweight title belt at one point.
Okay.
I think Rich Swann was mistreated.
I mean, well, let's take a look at all that. Because, as soon as any domestic violence or anything against women comes out, WWE immediately fires him. Look at what happened.
Enzo wasn't immediately fired.
Yes, he was. They just didn't announce it right away. He was gone. We weren't going to see him again. And that ticked me off because the charges were unfounded, and the stuff he was doing with Corey Graves, that was must-see TV right there. But,
absolutely.
I loved it because the uncomfortableness between those two made it feel real. But we're not talking about the WWE. We're going to talk about Impact. And on Impact, we saw Brian Cage and the Lucha Brothers, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. Looks like they're going to be teaming up to take out OVE. How stoked are you for this, Dan?
It's going to be a really good match, man. I mean, Brian Cage lives up to the X Division title. Let's just throw that out there as well. We're talking about a dude that is bigger than me in stature and girth and
That's saying a lot.
everything. And dude, this he flies, man. His athleticism is outstanding. He can fly like a lucha. He can do lucha libre wrestling. I watched him at Triple Mania as well. That was nuts. I mean, this is gonna be better Lucha Underground matches when it comes to these guys.
Okay. So this is the best feud nobody's talking about then?
I 100% believe so. Yes.
All right.
This can turn into the best feud because no one's talking about it.
Jaime, I'm going to ask you this question, and it's mainly to see the frustration on Dan's face. If I were to tell you that a second-generation female, whose godfather was a big star in the NWA, is now the Impact... Are they still calling it the Knockouts Championship, or is it the Women's Championship? I think it's still the Knockouts. And she is the new Knockouts Champion. You know who I'm talking about, right, Jaime?
Yeah.
Is she hot?
She is for me.
Well, everybody's hot for you, Jaime. Daniel, would you like to talk about Miss Blanchard?
Dude, in all respect to Ricochet, she is thick with 6 C's, bro. She is a taller, darker haired Alexa Bliss for me.
Hot mama.
And Ed, the look on your face just straight up tells me that when I said that, there is no argument that you can give me because that description of how I just described her is on point.
I like a pretty face. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Is Anna in the same room as you right now?
No, she's behind a closed door, and I think she's knocked out on NyQuil. Either way, I'm not going to risk it. I love you! Yeah, she's out. Anyway, all right. Why is Grado still doing things, and why can't I turn away when he's on TV, Daniel?
You can't turn away when he's on TV because he's on TV with Scarlett Bordeaux right now. That's why you can't turn away from the TV.
I'm just saying, I watched 30 seconds
Grado's
of it.
entertaining. He might not be the best wrestler. He's definitely not the best physical wrestler as far as being in physical shape. But
hey, fat guys need work too, man.
He's entertaining. He's a great entertainer.
You know, he burned me out on the stuff he did with Abyss or Joseph Park or whatever it was, and that match that he had with Scott Steiner and Josh Matthews and whatever he was calling himself, because I think he was half and half at that point, just burned me out. Burned me out on Impact alone. But how do I want to word this? As a comedic thing, that's his spot. He should never be in the wrestling ring again. At least on TV. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, and then maybe that's fair. But I mean, we've seen some worse wrestlers on TV.
Okay, sure. I mean, he's not the standby wrestler, that's for sure. But yes, we've seen worse. One thing that wasn't One thing that wasn't worse, I had hated Moose since he started. His whole fist pump thing, I can't stand it. But now I can, because he turned on Eddie Edwards. Oh, did he turn on Eddie Edwards? And it was amazing. He had the heel turn we all wish about 35% of wrestling would get. And they gave it to Moose, and he pulled it off.
If I remember correctly, even all of his time in ROH and everything before he went to Impact, I can't remember a time when Moose was heel.
I can't either. I mean, he's...
So,
Jaime?
this is the same thing. They needed, just like they needed to deal with Becky Lynch, Moose needed this.
Jaime, you've been a fan of Moose for a while. Has he ever been a heel?
He has been a heel when he was a bodyguard of Mike Kanellis. But he was over. He was the one over. The people were booing Maria and Mike, and the people were cheering for Moose. That's why we didn't notice that Moose was also a heel back then.
Has Mike Kanellis ever been cheered? Ever?
Mike
Ask
Kanellis
Dan.
is wrestling.
Okay. Because he's doing so much nowadays. All right. How screwed over is Eddie Edwards? You know, I love the guy. I loved him when he was with the Wolves with Davey Richards. Super nice guy, by the way. Got to interview him. Excellent guy. But I've always loved Eddie Edwards, and it's not just... What's that?
You got to interview him for a company that shall not be named.
Yeah. Anyway, I loved it. Like, it was amazing. I thought he was a great character, and it's not just because we share the same name, which is an amazing name, by the way. I strongly recommend you name your kids Ed. Fantastic. But anyway, I always loved him as a character. He was that squeaky clean, super nice guy. He's kind of gone off the rails a little bit, right, Dan?
Yeah, I love it. It started with the Davey Richards feud, and it's just slowly progressed and progressed and progressed and progressed. And it's almost like he's becoming a hot mess.
No, you have to bring up Laurel Van Ness every chance you get, don't you?
Yeah, I brought up Chelsea Green.
Okay. We'll bring her up later. But, Jaime, what are your thoughts on Eddie Edwards?
I'm a fan of him in ring-wise, but this is also, speaking of heel turns that they all need, that's also something Eddie Edwards needed. When he turned some sort of a heel, when he lost his mind, he got consumed by OVE.
I think he still is. I mean, he's going up against Killer Cross and Austin Aries. Who is Killer Cross, by the way? Do I know him from anywhere?
I honestly, he looks familiar. I just don't know where from.
Anyway, I hope this leads to Eddie Edwards being an Impact champion again. We'll see. All right, last thing we're going to talk about before we move on to that, whatever happened in Chicago, I don't know. So Impact announced on their broadcast they're going to not only Mexico City, but also to England. It's a lot of movement for a company that was 6 months ago nearing bankruptcy, is it not?
It is. I feel like they have some partners out there to where maybe it's just paying for some flights and stuff like that and growing the brand and everything like that. So I'm optimistic about what Impact the direction it's headed.
So let me ask you this question, Dan. Are you saying that companies are more likely to work with Impact now that Dixie Carter's not running things?
Yeah, probably.
Fair enough. Jaime, any parting shots on Impact?
It's just good that I trusted the process.
Trust the
From
process.
post Dixie to what it is right now.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
I've been
Jaime,
Yeah.
how much coffee has you drank this morning for you? Or how much drugs have you done?
Well, he is in the Philippines, and they are kind of known for that stuff. So let's not ask questions that could get him indicted with a whatever the police are down there. That's just not
It's
asking.
something I do not do.
I believe you, but you have gotten really swole really quick. That's why we call you the muscle of the podcast. Anyway, let's put that aside. I've been dreading this. I've been dreading this since this was announced. I've been dreading this since it happened. I've been dreading this since I had to write the script for this show, and I've been dreading it all the way through until now. What happened in Chicago? Daniel?
All in. All in.
You know, if you say that the right way, you could kind of do that to the Jaws theme. All in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear it.
So, alright. Did you both watch it?
Yes.
I did. Yeah.
So did I. So did I.
What'd you think, Ed?
This pains me to say this. It was the best wrestling show I've seen in the last 5 years. Easily the best one.
That legitimately just gave me goosebumps.
I love WrestleManias just because of the spectacle, but it wasn't 9 hours of wrestling. You know, I thought that There were a few Raws in there that were fantastic. I thought Impact did a few shows that were just phenomenal.
I agree.
But that was the best wrestling show I've seen. From beginning to maybe 2 matches toward the end, everything was perfect. I didn't agree with the last 2 matches. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I dug it. How did you feel about it, Jaime?
I couldn't agree more. Like, wrestling-wise, as in pure wrestling-wise, not much storylines because I wasn't really able to watch the build-ups that happened on the indie shows. But wrestling-wise, yes, I agree with you. It's one of the best.
All right, Dan. Gloat.
I'm going to disagree.
Surprise him.
Yeah.
I would say that is probably one of the best shows that has been on TV. But I don't. I got to disagree with the fact that I can't say it's one of the best shows that I've seen, because there's been some better independent shows that I've been to in the past 2 years. As far as television wise,
This wasn't an independent show.
what was it?
If
It
you
was
want,
independent wrestling, right?
if anything, it was a super indie show, but it wasn't your MLW run of the mill Thursday night wherever they're doing it in Boston. This was like mainstream. This had way more views than any indie show ever combined. People that weren't wrestling fans tuned into this. This was not your run of the mill independent show.
Is it better than a WrestleMania? That's the question I'm asking myself right now.
It's got to be better than the last 3.
It is. It's probably the best pure wrestling show in the last 5 years as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what I said. So, way to agree with me. Thank you. Give me some stars here, guys. Daniel, stars 1 to 5.
For the show, 4. The
Jaime?
last match was rushed.
Go. Both last matches were rushed. Jaime, stars. Let's go.
I agree with the last 2 matches. The opening match, I believe this happened in the kickoff, right? SoCal Uncensored
Yes,
versus
that's the
Briscoe Brothers.
That's the match we're going to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving them a. It could actually be a 5-star for me. Not too easy to. I'm not too hard to please when it comes to entertaining wrestling.
You could have stopped after, please. All right. So since Jaime brought it up, SoCal Uncensored defeated the Briscoes. Have the Briscoes lost momentum going into their match for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles against Kaz and Daniels? Jaime.
I'm not really sure how this goes, but since they already lost, how the indie storyline goes, but since they already lost to Kazarian at another event, they probably lost half the momentum already.
Daniel, rebuttal.
I gotta disagree, man. It's hard to disagree simply because this is definitely something that Ring of Honor has been building up in all in itself. So there's going to be some type of storyline leading into this, but I don't know, man. It's kind of like a one-off.
Okay.
I think SCU wins the belts. But
Well, all right. I just liked it because since the day I first saw them in Ring of Honor, their whole time in Impact, Kazarian and Christopher Daniels, boy, that's just like a perfect team, isn't it? It seems like they go so well together. Daniels is probably the bigger star, but I think Kazarian may be a better worker. But damn, are they fun to watch. So I don't like the Briscoes at all. I've made no secret about it. I don't. I hope they win.
I thought they would be your type of people, right?
No. See, I'm a very complex individual. Underneath this gorgeous exterior are layers and layers and layers to this personality. I'm not just a gorgeous face that talks to you guys every Wednesday night. Now, while y'all stop laughing, let's move on. The over-budget Battle Royal. Did anybody mark out for some of the legends there? Tommy Dreamer, Bully Ray, Daniel, anybody that made you go, oh my god?
I marked out for some of the spots, but none of the other legends.
Jaime, how about you?
Not for the legends, but I kind of marked out for Marco Stunt.
Okay. Now,
Only Jaime.
it is what it is. I hope everybody that's listening has watched this, the whole three of you that do. So, spoiler alert if you haven't. Bully Ray thought he won until Flip Gordon came in. What sense does it make to have somebody the age and experience of Bully Ray in that position when they could have put over somebody younger, somebody that could have gotten the rub from that? Does that make any sense to either of you guys?
Probably, I feel like there is a Bully Ray Flip type-ish feud in Ring of Honor right now.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
So that does make sense if that's correct, and I would say I'm 90% sure. That I'm right on that.
Okay, so maybe I asked the wrong question. Why is Bully Ray still wrestling?
Why are the Browns still an NFL franchise?
And you can go fornicate with yourself, all right? Jackass. Let's move on. Matt Cross defeated MJF. Who is MJF?
What?
Who is MJF?
MJF is the best independent wrestler on a mic in the independent scene right now.
So
That kid would be gold in the WWE back in the Attitude Era. 100%. His mic work is great. His character is great. His charisma is great. His in-ring work is good. Man, I love watching that kid wrestle, and I love listening to him talk shit to fans even more.
language, douche. Language.
You can't call me a douche and say language in the same sentence.
Well, I already got to mark this explicit on iTunes anyway. Which, by the way, the Caps Locks and Chair Shots is officially on iTunes with every single episode. You can download them at iTunes.com. Just search Caps Locks and Chair Shots. Jaime, what did you think of that match? Did you think of that match? Because I didn't think of that match. I use it as a pee break.
Matt Cross versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. It was a good match. You may have regret using it as a pee break.
I'm just saying, I didn't know who the two guys were. Didn't care. Moving on.
You never heard of Matt Cross?
Dan, how much independent wrestling have I watched?
Man, but he like... Okay, we'll move on.
Christopher Daniels defeated Stephen Amell with Jerry Lynn as the special referee. Was it good to see Jerry Lynn still alive? I like seeing Jerry Lynn still alive.
I didn't know he was alive.
They used to party hardy in ECW, man, I tell you. Was anybody impressed by Stephen Amell's performance? Jaime, were you impressed by an actor pulling that stuff off?
It's impressive, but it needs training. So, yeah. I'll just go with yes.
Okay. Daniel, have you ever seen his show? What is it, The Green Arrow?
Did he just ask me if I've ever seen that show?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
I
did.
watched every season.
Okay. Then you're qualified to answer this question. Is he a better wrestler or a better actor?
Do you watch the show?
No. No, I don't.
I will put it to you this way. The persona that he portrays in the ring is very close to what he portrays as the Arrow.
Okay, so answer my question. Better actor or wrestler?
I feel like he could be a better wrestler if he had more training. But I don't want to discount his acting in the show because I feel like, granted, he's been playing it for, I want to say 6-7 seasons now. I honestly don't count seasons. But I don't think there's a better person that can do that part.
Now,
Personality does it very well.
you said you don't count seasons, but right here on the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast, we count seasons. This is episode number 4 of season number 3, and you can find all those episodes on Podbean and on iTunes. Be sure to download it and hit that subscribe button. That's iTunes.com, and then you search Caps Locks and Chair Shots. Second plug of the show. All right. Did anybody else see John Mayer? Daniel, did you see him?
I did not.
I saw him, yeah.
Okay, he was in the crowd. So, Dan, my question to you. Does he in fact think Jaime's body is a wonderland?
Probably not.
Is he
I don't
irrelevant?
know. Is he irrelevant? I mean, no. When you have that much money, you're relevant in some aspects.
Jaime, do you think John Mayer thinks your body's a wonderland?
I think he has to think that.
There you go. There you go. We're not going to get a flex, a pose, or anything? You're the muscle of the podcast. Can we? There you go. There you
Do that
go.
again, Jaime. Do that one more time, buddy. Do that one more time. I got you full cam right now. Do that one more time. Alright. I'm just waiting for you to actually flex next time when you do that.
Ooh, burn! That is Dan's burn of the show. I don't think we'll do that again. I didn't like that. I should have had a sound effect. We don't have a sound effect. We're moving on. All right, Daniel, would you like to talk about your woman yet again? Because she won the Fatal 4-Way. So,
I mean, I don't know what more I can say. Like, she's an amazing talent in the ring. All her looks aside, she is probably one of the best female wrestlers on the planet right now.
better than Charlotte.
What's that?
Better than Charlotte Flair.
That would be a match I'd love to see.
Better
For multiple
than
reasons.
better than Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
Better than Becky Lynch. Better than
The match
Sasha
I'd love to
Banks.
see. Match I'd love to see.
Better than Bayley.
Match I'd love to see.
Better than Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
Fair enough. Jaime, are you still a fan of Chelsea Green? Now that she's out of the wedding dress?
But she's
Although
still the
that,
hot mess.
She almost had that wedding dress on.
Oh, yeah. Is Zack Ryder a lucky guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought I would hear. All right. As soon as my mouse wants to work, let's scroll down. All right. Now, the next match we're going to talk about, since we're doing this in chronological order, I don't understand why this wasn't in the main event. It's a title that goes back all the way to 1948 in Iowa City in a motel room where 5 of the most important dudes in wrestling history, Pinky George and the like, created the NWA, and that's when this NWA title was created. It is a replica of the exact same belt held by Dusty Rhodes and Harley Race and Ric Flair and all these legends, the Briscoes, the Funks, everybody held this belt. And it's in the middle of the card. It's the match that, the first one that was announced, the match that everybody wanted to see. And it's in the middle of the card. Can either of you two explain this to me?
I think it's because Cody's doing double duty. Like, he had to wrestle and he also had the show to run. He had to make sure the show doesn't go overtime, which I think it went by the way it ended.
It did.
Well,
Which, let me put it to you this way, Ed. How much
So
did
he
you
had no
enjoy that
choice.
match? I want you to give that match, out of all the matches on the card, how would you rate that compared to the other ones?
I'd say it was it was a tied for the second best match on the card.
Okay. The best match on the card, I'm assuming that was the next one that we're going to talk about.
No.
Okay, well,
No.
I think that match needed to be in that spot simply because I enjoyed that match thoroughly. That was a great story-told match to where if that's the main event and that's the last thing that goes on, you're not getting that story. You're not getting that story told that way. You saw how quick the Bucks and Bandino and Phoenix and Ibushi and Ray had to go through those spots. You're not getting that type of story told in the short amount of time that they would have had to close out the show.
Then you cut Adam Page and Joey Janela. That was terrible.
Match.
And the whole thing... We'll get to that in a minute. Because I'm fired up about that. Let's talk about what happened in the match. Was there too much outside interference? Because it seemed like there was a lot.
I think it told a great story.
Jaime, thoughts? Opinions?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say as well. No kidding.
Okay. Now, when I was little, mainly because I didn't have any friends, and pretty much still don't, I like to give myself a self-high five. So when I saw Diamond Dallas Page unleash the Diamond Cutter, I was excited. Either of you guys shared that kind of emotion?
Oh yeah, dude, that was amazing to see.
Oh, I've been marked out for the Diamond Cutter forever, and the stuff he did with, oh yeah, the stuff he's done with Jake the Snake and Scott Hall, just makes me like him so much more.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mark out for Diamond Dallas Page.
And the fact, and I'm going to tell a little bit of an inside story here. We all used to work for that website that should not be named, and
especially on this show.
I was transcribing an interview between DDP and the former chief editor of that website. We all know him. And DDP did not know what his name was, so he called him Gore. And it made my day every time he said it. Loved it. That's more of an inside joke for the three of us.
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, so great. Is Brandy Rhodes okay after that elbow from Magnus? Or Nick Aldis, excuse me. She alright? Did she survive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Why didn't Jeff Jarrett get involved? Did he get involved? I didn't notice.
Jeff Jarrett was sore from Triple Mania still.
I thought he may have been sore from the... Well, we're just going to let that go. Just going to let that go. May the GFW rest in peace. They're still alive. We're just going to let that go. Alright. I'm going to try to do this without cussing. I'm going to try to do this without losing my cool. Adam Page defeated Joey Janela. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about the 800-pound penis elephant in the room. This is in the script, and I wrote the script, and I can't believe I'm asking this question. Daniel, did Joey Ryan's dong and dong-related paraphernalia overshadow what turned out to be a pretty decent match?
I thought it was great.
Jaime, do you have any thoughts on it before I can close the book on this?
Well, I found it funny, but it definitely overshadowed.
Just
And
like
let me add, you said you cut this match, right? You cut this match is what you said. How can you cut out any match that has a chick that looks like Penelope Ford at ringside?
It's mainly because of all the stuff that happened after. Like, I can't help but think, if Joey Ryan's genitalia does not make a prominent appearance in the show, that maybe the Young Bucks and Ibushi don't have to go so fast. Maybe Okada and Marty Scurll, which, by the way, was the one tied with the NWA Championship match for second, maybe they, get a little bit more time. And I didn't like it. The match was good, everything else after it, and maybe it's just because it's Joey Ryan. I hated it. I hated it. So since I hated it so much, let's move on. Jay Lethal defeated Flip Gordon to retain his Ring of Honor Championship. Did this deserve to be in the main event, Dan?
This could have been a main event match. Anything that Flip Gordon is in, he is one of the most talented wrestlers out there right now. He can grapple, he can fly. Oh, but no, don't give me that finger tapping face bullshit. You say what you want to say, so I can tell you how wrong you are.
You son of a bitch. Using my own catchphrase against me. Jaime, say something.
Flip Gordon, Jay Lethal. It gave me an idea of the main what Ring of Honor title matches are. So it made I won't be watching Ring of Honor because of it. But if I happen to I already have an idea of what to expect.
Okay, let's move on, and let's move on to the best show on the card. Kenny Omega defeated Pentagon Jr. I would give this match, I'd give it 6 stars. Daniel? Oh yeah, I loved it. Loved everything about it. And to tell a secret that I don't portray often on my character on this show, I like Kenny Omega. I do.
I thought it was a really good match. it's hard for me to say like 6 stars, even 5 stars, because there were definitely some apparent botches in the match when Kenny went for that springboard outside. Just, a few other spots. It was a really good match. Once again, another good type story told, hard hitting match. It's what I expect from those two guys. Two guys that should be in the WWE. And then you do the ending, you take the ending into effect as well.
I wish you'd have stopped after WWE because I had it lined up. How about Chris Jericho? I mean, come on. Could we have had All In without Jericho showing up?
I'm worried about his cruise.
Why?
I mean, it's a lot of promotion that he's doing here. Did this not sell out the way he thought it would?
Are you kidding me? Or are people going to buy more tickets because they think Kenny Omega's going to show up the final night of that cruise and screw over Chris Jericho?
Oh no, Kenny Omega's already on it.
Well, there you go. This is perfect. Jaime, what'd you think?
You just made the list.
There you go. All right. We're kind of running short on time.
Doesn't respond. I don't know if his internet cut out or if he's thinking hard.
It's hard to tell with him. It's hard to tell. We're running low on time, so let's move on. Kenny Okada defeated Marty Scurll after Scurll ate 3 Rainmakers.
Who defeated Marty Scurll?
Okada, didn't he?
Yeah, but you said Kenny Okada.
I mean, I'm so used to watching their matches. They're the best things I've ever seen. Second best things I've ever seen. I really hope you guys that have been with us since the beginning realize me saying that shows how far I've grown. I want to point that out. It's a little bit of making me feel better about myself. Jaime, does this match show that Marty Scurll is bigger than the Bullet Club and he's going to be in the main event somewhere?
He definitely is. Like, I'm going to make a list of guys who would replace Kenny Omega as the leader of the Bullet Club. Yeah, that Cody definitely. Then you have Marty Scurll, second in line.
Fair enough. Daniel, how many stars?
4.5.
Fair enough. Jaime, 4.5?
I'm going to wait to 5. Good storytelling.
We'll see what Uncle Dave finds out. I believe those ratings come out tomorrow. So, we'll find out. Now, the main event. The Young Bucks and Ibushi defeated Rey Mysterio, Bandito, and Rey Fenix. Dan already said this match was too fast. I happen to agree with him. Jaime, do you make it a 3-peat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does not mean I did not enjoy the match, though.
Oh, absolutely. It was well done. It was just really fast. Was it worthy of being in the main event?
Yeah.
Jaime?
I would say no, just because there are other matches such as the NWA Championship, the Ring of Honor Championship, but still, it doesn't change my opinion on how good that match was.
Okay, so we all agree this was better than 34, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Is it the best indie show ever? Best big indie show ever?
I can't think of... Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Will this happen again?
Absolutely.
I hope so. I wish it happens again.
You
That's
screwed it
how
up!
good it is.
You screwed it up! It was right there. You should have just said, yeah, like you have been for every other question. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have a nice show. Jaime, redeem yourself. What's the best thing we should be watching this week?
Saturday, UFC 228. Tyron Woodley versus Darren Till for the welterweight championship. Also, we have Nico Montano versus Valentina Shevchenko for the women's flyweight title fight.
I'm very proud of you for getting those names correctly, Jaime. Very, very nice. Is this the one CM Punk's going to be on? Doesn't he have a fight coming up soon?
No, CM Punk's not here.
All right.
No.
We all know what starts tomorrow. Daniel, you and I know what starts tomorrow. Give me one game we should watch either tomorrow or Sunday.
Houston and the highest projected. It's the highest projected total on the board is Vegas. They're projecting 50+ points. Most likely going to be a shootout. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a lot of two high-powered offenses.
Jaime, would you like to give us a game?
I already gave mine. So
Okay.
not familiar with the schedule, so I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Fair enough. Y'all know if you see me on Twitch, and Dan mentioned it earlier, what hat I'm wearing. And it's that of my Cleveland Browns. And I'm going to tell you at 1 p.m., I believe it's in Cleveland, is it not, Daniel?
It is in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm, it is in Cleveland. That this will be the first time that a quarterback not named Johnny Manziel has led the Browns to a win in 2 years. Without Le'Veon Bell, with an offensive line that's another year older and another year more banged up, the Browns have 2 good receivers on the outside, a quarterback that should be able to run an offense, and Duke Jones that may or may not be able to run the football. I have faith in these Browns. But then again, I had faith in the Browns last year. And part of being a Browns fan is being disappointed. Like Daniel's mother was when he was born. Disappointment comes easy to us. We don't expect anything from the Browns, and yet we are still left with sorrow and heartache. That's one of the reasons I root for the Browns. Because if they lose, it's the Browns. But if they win, best feeling in the world. And come Sunday, at about 4:15, I'll be at work, sitting in a guard shack, nothing to do.
Crying.
Oh no.
Crying.
From happiness. From happiness. Because Tyrod Taylor is going to connect with Josh Gordon, not once, but twice, in the end zone. 24-13, Browns win. Calling it right now. And Daniel, I'll give you this. If the Browns lose, you see this mask right here, folks? I will wear this the entire show next week. Not only so you don't have to see my face, but so you don't have to see my shame. This mask right here.
El Santo.
I don't know if you should do that to yourself.
I won't have to, because the Browns will win.
Hey, look, man. As a Ravens fan, I hope you guys get your first and only win of the season. Against the only competition that the Ravens have in the division.
Yeah, how's Joe Flacco earning that big contract?
Hey, man, he looked great in the preseason. He's
Really?
playing for a contract somewhere else.
You did not just say that. Because you know what the Browns did? They went 4-0 last year in the preseason. You know what the Lions did the year they went 0-16? They were 4-0 in the preseason.
But were either of those teams 5-0? There's a difference.
It
There
doesn't
is
matter.
a difference.
I guarantee you, the Ravens will have a top 10 pick in the draft.
Do you want to put money on this?
I'm broke. You had to buy me a webcam so people could see me.
Of course, so for my amusement.
Well, that's true too. All right, we're at the end of the show.
No. I'm not off the subject of the Browns yet. How does it feel knowing that the last time your team won, Johnny Manziel was your starting quarterback?
Now, I believe I know where you got this point from, and I think it could have been a show that got posted today, and that was a one-night-only Sports du Jour special that I did myself because we tried recording it the other night. There was an audio problem, hence why I have a new microphone and webcam, so I had to sit in a guard shack by myself, talking to myself, and I brought up this point. The last quarterback to lead the Browns to a win was Johnny Manziel, who now can't even get on the field in Canada. Why you gotta depress me?
At
It's
least
the end
you
of the
guys
show.
didn't draft Johnny Manziel 2.0 and Baker. Oh.
Shut your mouth, sir. Shut your... Ray Rice. That's all I'm gonna say. Ray Rice. Anyway.
Hey, you know what would have solved them? You know what? I can't say that. Can't say that because of TOS.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it. I will tell you the joke off stream, though. I will tell you the joke off stream.
Well, we need to get off stream, so let's do our outro. Jaime, you've done some great things as a blogger. Let's hear about them. While I give Dan the finger below the camera.
Alright, now I'm still trying to build my YouTube channel, so guys, if it would help if you subscribe to my channel. It's The Great JLA on YouTube, and I recently came back from vacation. Sweet escape in an island. So, you're gonna see it uploaded there in a few days.
Daniel, your turn.
So, I told you guys I had some big news. Big news at the beginning of the show. And didn't bring it up at all, right? So, after some negotiations with a former owner of a Twitter handle, as of 9:15, about 9:15 p.m. today, you guys can now follow me on Twitter at Danny Bananas.
Really trying hard not to hang up on you. That was your big news?
Dude, absolutely. You have no idea what I went through to get that Twitter handle. I had to send this guy a picture of you so he would think that I looked like you in order to give me the Twitter handle because he couldn't believe that someone that ugly existed.
You went a long way for a bad joke.
Jaime thought it was funny.
Jaime thinks everything is funny, though. Making Jaime laugh is not a miracle. Making you pretty, that's a miracle. Anyway, I don't even know what I was going to say.
Oh, the other big news is tomorrow, NBA 2K19 releases. We are going to be attempting a 24-hour live stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Danny Bananas. So if you guys listening to this and you want to stop by and just say hi, let me know you listen to the podcast. Throw me some wrestling stuff in chat. We can talk about it. A little bit of back and forth banter. Or if you're an NBA fan, just stop on by. Head back to you.
Speaking of the NBA, you should totally listen to the one night only special. That's Season 3, Episode 3 of the Caps Lock and Chair Shots podcast. It went up today on Wednesday, and we talked plenty about the NBA. Well, we as in me, about how LeBron James will not lead the Lakers past the first round. All right. That's going to do it all for us here at the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast. We'd like to thank you all for listening. And as always, if you're not down with the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast, we got 2 words for you. Maybe. We got 2 words for you. Maybe. We got 2 words for you. Keep listening.